This is Captain Black, the Hood Conservative. Today's topic, Urban Cold War, Black Men, Black Cops, and Police period. This particular Cold War strikes very close at home. In many inner cities, and even in black popular culture throughout the income strata, policemen are viewed as the enemy. Ironically, black policemen now are viewed as traitors. Quite a turn of events, because in the 1950s and 60s, across the spectrum from the NAACP in the mainstream to the original Black Panthers on the fringes, black policemen were something that moderate and militant alike demanded as a step toward assuring a more equitable delivery of justice in our communities. After what I call the crack invasion, we find that the drug dealer, the thug, the miscreant, he has been elevated to the top of our social pedestal. I was talking to a black police officer last night at an event, and he gave a very familiar lament about how disrespectful and hostile particularly young black men are he encounters in his work. Now, as professional agitators and malcontents will always try to exploit any episode of police brutality or any misunderstanding between police of any color and black men. In the 21st century, we need to be very clear. If we do not thaw the urban Cold War between black men, black cops, and police period, all we will do is continue a harvest of officer-involved injuries and shootings, of litigation, of brutality complaints. This does not benefit black men, it does not benefit black cops, it does not benefit police period. We are allowing ourselves to be played. As Malcolm X quite eloquently stated, he called the conservatives of his day the snarling wolves, but he also warned that liberals were the foxes who like to curl up next to black folks and pretend that they are our friends. See, a lot of liberals won't come out and say that they hate the police. What they'll do, particularly in positions of authority in majority black cities or in cities with chronically aggrieved black populations, is play mediator when in all actuality they are trying to stifle and block any attempts at American black men fully realizing our citizenship and looking at policemen not as the enemy, and particularly black policemen not as traitors, but partners in trying to finally make America's most dangerous segments, the inner city, safer. You see, if that type of integration happened, it would cause a lot of liberals to lose their jobs. Or, if not lose their jobs, they would actually have to share power. And that's something that the left is, particularly when it comes to us, not ready nor willing to do. We have more than enough reasons of our own as black men to be leery of the police. But it's not the police who are killing young black men daily. I know that there are people who make a profession of tracking every instance of negative contact between police and black people. I can understand that. But I ask, who is killing our people more? Thugs in blue or other uniform colors? Or thugs in blue jeans? We cannot continue to have an activist paradigm which always complains and which always continues an urban Cold War that we do not benefit from. The inner city needs policemen. It needs law-abiding men who will unite with police officers. I know that a lot of young brothers, of all colors incidentally, in the wake of the George Bush and Barack Obama excesses in the name of, quote, Homeland Security or, quote, law enforcement, have become even more leery. But even critics of police success like Alex Jones always make clear that he separates the wheat from the chaff, the good cops from the bad ones. Black men, black cops, and police, period, are a Cold War, an urban Cold War, that we must end. Because too many children are not looking up to policemen or any other functional role model. They're looking up to drug dealers, they're admiring street gangs, they're emulating rappers. And all this does is create a harvest of death, ignorance, and destruction that the inner city and ultimately America will choke on. That's why I want to end the urban Cold War between black men, black cops, and police, period.